first found through the frustration of teachers who were in about grade 3 or 4 were mentioning that it seemed like he knew more than he was able to produce, or he wasn't able to focus on certain subjects and was getting frustrated. And then as the years went on through the homework, witnessing it firsthand, how difficult it was for him to stay organized and get through different assignments, and just the organizing his thoughts when he had to write something out was so jumbled. And it became more and more frustrating to watch. And he was so determined to work hard that he maintained good results, but it became more and more clear that he shouldn't have had to spend all night in his room working on something which was obviously just a 20-minute task for other students. The teachers would notice this kid has an incredible memory for a scientific fact that he learned 2 years ago, and he's listing numbers and statistics, and so how are you telling us that he can't follow these instructions? When the child is describing a movie you should go see, and they start right in at the middle of the plot line, and you're listening, you're watching the siblings listening, going, what is this about? I can't listen anymore. This is so confusing. We were first recommended by the school to get a psych ed assessment. They gave us a long list of accommodations that he should have, that he was unable to copy from the board. He was unable to, he was visually unable to read charts. So if there was a graph or a chart on a geography test, he couldn't fill in the slot, so he didn't know how to answer it. And so they identified a whole list of things, and from there the school started to test him orally after a test, and he was able to add like another 30% of marks to his testing score by doing this.
So that was an accommodation that they had come up with, which was right to start testing verbally and things like that, and to understand that, I mean, the way we looked at it was he was having trouble being able to copy from a blackboard. So that what we heard was called short-term memory. There were some issues there. So that was a good accommodation, the first of a few that really did help.
And even in simple terms, short-term memory for meaningless information was very low. So get your book, get your colored pencils, and start working on the map. Mm-hmm. He would retain the part about the map, but he didn't know what he was supposed to do with it.
School's not real life, and so it was, okay, does he pick up on that social cue? Does he understand some of these things that would be part of his profile? And we knew that was going to be a concern going forward, and I guess we were coaching at home quite a bit.
When Peter was delivered his results for the grade 12 psych ed assessment, he was given a list of disabilities and problems and shortcomings, and then an even longer list of what he was to hand to the university as far as accommodations. And it was quite an overwhelming roster, and Peter looked at it, and being a scientist, he looked at it and asked how he could change this. And in one short sentence, the tester just said, you can't. This is you, and you can't change this.
We saw a real change in him in that discussion. So the four of us were in a room around a round table, and the psych ed person was delivering these results, and you could see the lights go out in his eyes, and he just looked at her and said, he didn't believe it. He didn't believe that someone was going to say to somebody, this is what you're going to have for the rest of your life. And as we know now, that wasn't in fact true.